Don't you think I'd want to do my part to help us? And anyway, no one's more qualified than the masters of the Night Veil when it comes to Natlan's ancient history. Ancient history? Wow, even by Citlallis standards? If you think I didn't hear that, if you think I did hear that, if you are sorely mistaken, but anyway, back to the matter at hand. I don't know if you noticed, but Teenage's little sidekick has been acting a little strange around in us. Yeah, you can say that again. After you parted ways, Kenichi put him in timeout for 3 whole days and nights. Then he had Ifa sent the cow to torment him for another night. Ooh, Raha. Finally, Aha got infuriated with Kakao's persistent pestering that he lost his cool and let slip a crucial piece of information towards sovereign ruler. Oh, sovereign ruler? So isn't that just how he introduces himself? It is, and I always assumed it was a lord of hot air, but apparently not. Turns out the title refers to 13 tribal lords who ruled Natlan in ancient times. Oh, I think I've heard of that. Don't think I've heard much about that. Of course you heard. Well, I spent for a while figuring it out. Anyway, the 13 sovereign rulers are not ordinary dragons, but forms of artificial intelligence created by the Pyro Dragon using secret source technology. They had superior intelligence and greater authority than even the ancient dragons themselves. Each ruled over a portion of Natlan's territory. What do you mean by ancient dragons? The living creatures that existed in Natlan? Before humans took over? Or maybe after humans? Natlan is a nation of dragons, if you will. And the dragons are evolved dragons. Yeah, I haven't seen any dragons here. There's new little spoke of a few dragons, right? But one by one, they disappeared during the war with heroes. Even most of them names are unknown now. Long since buried in the sands of time. Okay, sure, with heroes. So they were living heroes. If we hadn't managed to pry that tidbit out of his mouth, I would have had no idea where to even start. Always thought that little monster's biggest claim to fame was arguing with Kakao for an entire day, but he has quite a history then, huh? Which of the 13 was he? Not a clue so far. He has staunchly refused to reveal which of the sovereign rulers he was. I guess it's that he doesn't even remember. Remember, these rulers were supposed to be powerful forms of artificial intelligence, and well, it hardly seems like he's still in his prime. I'll bet he's lost most of his memories and power. Lost memories. Despite that, Aha seems to sense the presence of a fellow sovereign ruler when you were nearby. Specifically, it's the core in your chest he was reacting to. What? He never saw sovereign ruler too? Could be Kenichi and Ifa have been keeping a close watch on Aha. Kenichi and Ifa, huh? Ifa is a friend of Ororo, right? How does Ifa and Kenichi get along? We need to meet. A lot of questions. In case he reveals anything else, but so far it seems like these two words are all remembers. वैसा बोले तो मैं क्या कहता हूँ these two words are all he remembers. वैसा बोले तो मैं क्या कहता हूँ these two words are all he remembers. वैसा मैं बोले तो क्या होता है तो मैं बोला था करेंगे कर दो. These two words are all he remembers. So the trail's gone cold. Not completely, there's also Lianka and the Flower Feather clan, both of which have triggered a response from Inefa. Hmm. And as it happens, out of the sovereign rulers that I was able to dig up information on, there was one who had a very close relationship with Lianka. Her name was Priestess of the Floral Candles and Skyborne Feathers, otherwise known as the Eighth Lord. She ruled over what is now the Flower Feather Clan's territory. Reports claim that she didn't die in the war with humanity. With humanity. Oh, so she was fighting. But for the heroes, were Kushans, verified Kushans. It was executed by her own kind, a crime being betrayal of dragonkind by secretly raising a human neon. Oh, so they were at conflict then. Ah, Jessica, did you know this? Some of it. The tribe's origin story has Lianga being raised by a dragon. Of the six heroes, she had the closest relationship with the dragon. Oh, so she might be the hero. After raising her, her surrogate mother and then encouraged her to leave the nest and seek her own path, raising her. She traveled far and wide, settling disputes between humans and saurians. She didn't pick sides based on past grievances between humanity and dragonkind. She stood up for the weak, protecting them from those more powerful who sought to exploit them. Gradually, a community of like-minded people on Saurian's gathered around her, united by a desire for freedom and equality, and that was how the Flower Feather Clan formed. Okay, that's an interesting story, but very typical. But that's as much as the legends say. They never mentioned her dragon mother's name or what became of her in the end. Hmm. Inefa? Oh, sorry, my cognition model is acting again. At some point during the conversation, it started behaving very erratically. You mentioned that the priestess of floor candles and skyborne feathers was executed. Might I ask how? That was the eighth lord, skyborne feathers. Same thing. That those two things go together. Unfortunately, the humans of that time weren't privy to all of the details of dragon affairs. The only records we have are vague references from after the fact. It's very possible that this is mere speculation or complete fabrication, so don't give too much weight to it. But for what it's worth, it said that a curse was placed on the priestess by one of the other rulers. If she truly harbors pro-human sentiment, and for every ounce of goodwill she feels, may her mind be flooded with pain of immeasurable proportions. And the savage conflict and chaos that followed, the priestess' mind was ultimately destroyed. That sounds like a painful way to die. Geez, what a bizarre method of execution. Definitely sounds like the history writers used some artistic license here. But if he is feeling pain for any sort of goodwill she holds against humans, she would just stop doing it, right? She could just, why tie a meaningless sacrifice? Maybe if you're carrying them and some good thing is coming out of it, maybe she finds it as a reasonable sacrifice, a good exchange. Are you okay? I'm fine. This didn't seem to trigger any erratic behavior. So, do you think my origins have something to do with this? Sovereign ruler? Interesting. Well, it's hard to say that. Say what? If any, well, it's hard to say what. If any direct connection you have to the eighth lord. But since the name Lianka seems to ring a bell for you, why don't you look it yourself? About some women scrolls with me that might be useful. Have a look if you're interested. Yeah. Take them best. You mean me? How is that thing hanging over? Come on, don't say anything. In a moment I'm going to leave. I need you to join me discreetly. Am I hearing your thoughts? Just a little spell based on your experience. I'll explain everything shortly when we catch up. Well, I need to keep going now. If I find out anything more, I'll keep you updated. Gratitude. Goodbye. Bye, Sitlani. Now's your chance. Slip away quietly while the world your head exploded. That land looks so good here. Wall cannot stop us. If you do this, not like that, but do this, just do it. Awesome, right? See, I like this second and spinning by holding, and then finally smashing. Is this a flower? Oh my, let's just start. Techilosaurus, not Techilosaurus. What's that? I don't remember what saur is this. Techilosaur is the one that goes into the ground. Holosaur. The Holosaur is the one that swims. So, saurians. That sounds right. Totally. Shut up the fight really soul. Thought he could get me. But got this. Poor little guy. Thought he could beat me, but got his ass handed. But got his ass handed to him. Poor little guy. Thought he could beat me, but got his ass handed to him. Aha! So let's open the dictionary archives. Bees. This is what we want. Easy like fishes, man. Wildlife, yeah. Enemies and monsters. Those are enemies, so yeah, they'll show up here. I've never seen this thing. I saw this thing. That's this monster. Let's wait for all of this. Yeah. I don't know this. I don't know this. I don't know any of this. I know this. These two, I mean, looks like these two are different things. I thought they both were the same. Evolving avatar of lava. Fluid avatar of lava. Avatar. Lava. Tatankasaurus. Tomisaurus. Tatankasaurus. I haven't even unlocked this. Huh? Cucosaurus chick. Oh, that's a Cucosaurus. Old flame Cucosaurus. Direct. Dinosaurus chick. Yuncasaurus. Yuncasaurus. Cohlosaurus. Dinosaurus. Dinosaurus. Cohlosaurus. Okay, I remember this too. Because Mountain King glitters. So every version has an enemy. This one doesn't. See? The Velosaur also doesn't. The Impusaur does. Impusaur does. Tankasaur, no, it doesn't. Ice Wolf, I guess. Yes. This is from Leeway, right? Eurasian Leeway. Genshin village. Genshin village. It's something. Leeway. Tea leaves, plantations, in this one. Right? Come on, man. You're losing your memory so bad. Chenyu, yes. Southern Mountain. Uphill. Mount Lakes. Lakes. What is that side show? I do not order.